the students them to get into the frame of mind each morning when the show start to take me to 20,000 taps. You know, that's how we do it over here in the mornings. Good morning, Promise. Good morning, Diane. Good morning to each and every one. Melody Crooks, Natsy, the Walla Ono, big up on yourself. So take me to 20,000 taps quickly. Thank you, Paula. Take me to 20,000 taps quickly. And then we get into the meat of the matter. Let's go, everybody. Thank you, Eagle Paul.
The valley I see, this low I see, the sea rolling below.
the class this morning. I want to say a very pleasant good morning to all of you who are locked in. Good morning, Real PNP. Good morning, Cami and a sexy princess, Winsome. Queen of the Pack, big up yourself, KK. Sir Garrett, big up yourself. Good morning, Valencia Braham, Nadine, Corinne Griffiths. Jamrock, large up yourself, Christina, Thin Slice, Marcia Robinson, big up to all the comrades down there in Westmoreland. And speaking of Westmoreland, in particular, Westmoreland Eastern, today your Member of Parliament, Dr. Dayton Campbell, will contribute to the sectoral debate. And, once Dayton stand on his feet to address this country, all eyes will be fixated on our screens. And so I know Westmoreland Eastern will be locked in to support their Member of Parliament that he needs as he deliver his sectoral speech this afternoon. A harvest the people can eat. Build with purpose. Build with people. And of course, he is the shadow spokesperson on agriculture and fisheries, food security. So we anticipate Parliament at 2 o'clock. So equally, Dr. Campbell will be making his sectoral debate this afternoon. So we'll be looking out for first-time Member of Parliament and one of the crown jewels in St. Mary, the Honorable Christopher Brown, Member of Parliament for Southeast St. Mary, will make his debut today. Yes, man, he is the shadow spokesperson on science and technology and digital transformation. And so I know St. Mary will be glued to their television set on the airwaves, listening to their Member of Parliament, making his contribution and representing not only his constituency that they proudly send him to do, but to represent the country as the science and technology spokesperson. So this afternoon is going to be one filled with interesting discussions. And of course, we'll be looking out to see who will be sitting in the speaker's chair this afternoon. And if it's one thing I know with this government, they are very predictable. Good morning, Alicia James. Blessings every time. If it's one thing I know about this government, they are very predictable. So it's as the continuation of our sectoral debate, and how they do things. One of the members will present first. I think it's Andrew Wheatley will make his presentation today. And I appreciate when the debate is done in this manner. I love when the minister speaks and then the shadow minister speaks, or vice versa. But I don't like when, let's say, the agriculture minister speaks last week and then days after you see the shadow minister speak. We like when the minister can sit there and listen to what the opposition or the shadow minister is saying, so they can you know, I love when the discussion is like this. And when you look and see how this afternoon lineup is, Chris Brown is the shadow spokesperson on technology and science, digital transformation. But I think I'm not so sure what the Labour Party MPs them do, you know, but I can tell them, you know, about FIMI, PNP, MP them. So don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if Andrew Wheatley is this Minister of Technology and Science. Is that so? I don't know. But if that is the case, this is a wonderful lineup, because I love when the ministers them speak and then the shadow minister rebut them. So this afternoon is going to be a wonderful sitting. Equally tomorrow, Wednesday, Parliament will continue. And tomorrow we will hear from Peter Bunting. Yes, man. So Peter Bunting will make his contribution on Wednesday, and so too the member for Northeast St. Elizabeth, Justice Lady Zulika Jess. So it's going to be a wonderful week ahead. But today is where it all kicks off, Jamaica. Because we want to see who will be sitting in the speaker's chair. And I know how calculus the Labour Party is, because they think Jamaica is not watching and Jamaica is not looking on. But I bet you that Juliet Holness will start the Parliament and she will preside over Andrew Wheatley's presentation. But as soon as her government colleague wrap up his presentation, she will exit the chair and give it to either Heroic Clark or Dwayne Smith. She vacate the Parliament. This is how this woman conducts the Parliament. Taxpayers pay this woman, and she show up to Parliament when she feel and on whose term. She totally forget that it is the people who sent her there to do a job. And so she's managing the job, Jamaica, as if she's doing us a favor. But let us watch and see how they will conduct the Parliament later on. But my mind is telling me that Juliet will be there, yes, to oversee her colleague, Andrew Wheatley, and to start off the Parliament with him. And as soon as Andrew Wheatley wrap up and it is time for the opposition members to make their presentation, she will vacate the Speaker's chair and give it to either Heroic Clark or Dwayne Smith. Let us watch and see, because this woman acts as if the Parliament is her private domain. Taxpayers are paying these people. When you no go work, you can left work X time, you no have to work from beginning to end. So while she feels she must come to work and get up when she feel, these people are paid by taxpayers, you know, and this is how they handle themselves, as if it's not the people who send them there. But I soon come to Juliet Holness and the tabling of these reports. Jamaica, I want to start the class this morning by looking at the state of the transport sector in this country, because I'm getting to understand that Andrew Holness' cabinet approved a phased implementation of fares. So bus fare and taxi fare are going to raise starting today. 8% raise, and next month, July, another 8%. So 16% will be added to taxi fare Where them your people here come from? Where them people here come from, Jamaica? 16%. Remember, the teachers and the nurses and civil servants have been asking equally to get their raise of salary and raise of pay and the increments and what the government owe. And Andrew Holness and Favour cannot give them the 7% all at once. So how you take up 16% and I go raise taxi men and women's salary? Something is fundamentally wrong with the governance of this country. Because while the transport sector can halt productivity, what if the teachers and police and civil servants decide that they are going to throw down them arms and strike and don't come to work? I think that is equally important as well. So how is it that Favour can have a sit down with them and those within the transport sector? Is who bad you up, Favour? Who bad up Favour? If he come sit down with the transport, I wonder if a Daryl, I don't know, you know. But Daryl made himself available, so too was Favour, and they decide that they're going to raise bus fare 16%. 8% for the month of June and 8% for the month of July. So back to back to back. Commuters will have to face the brunt of taxi fare raised. I hear says $350 now from Portmore to downtown. Elections have consequences, you know, people. Elections have consequences. And when you put back a government in power that don't understand how to govern, this is exactly what happens. Yeah? This is exactly what happens when you choose to put back a government who clearly do not understand the governance of a country. $350 Chico from Portmore now to downtown. Can you imagine, Jamaica? Can you imagine now? Jamaica, this is the prosperity that they have been singing from 2016 to now, and they continue to promote the prosperity. Where is the prosperity? Where is the prosperity, Jamaica? I would love for any labor rights to come and tell us. And you cannot blame Hurricane Melissa, because that is the hallmark that they are saying price of oil raise and this and that. It not have nothing to do with price of oil, because the hedge tax and the alvalorum, whatever they call it, if the Jamaica Labour Party was using that tax and put it in the kitty so rainy day like now when oil price out of control, we could have enough money to cushion the oil prices. But what the Jamaica Labour Party did is that they use the hedge tax, and I use it to catch up the economy and I put it elsewhere and didn't put on any for a rainy day just in case oil prices should become unstable yet again. So now that you see oil are raised every week by $4.50, it is a result of the carelessness of the Jamaica Labour Party and the mismanagement and the mishandling of the economy. The PNP put a special tax in place because we would have learned from the oil crisis then. And the PNP put the edge tax in place where you would pay a little thing. I don't remember how much it is. Must be $7 Jamaican dollar, I think. I don't remember, but I want a little bit of money. And Mama P said we would pay this little money, just in case oil price should rise. Remember, we not produce oil, but if we are put on the little $7, the little $7, the little $7, whenever price of oil rise up, at least she will have a little money put aside in the kitty that will go solely towards the importation of oil, so that the government can buy it. Even though the oil price rise, it will cost the government and not the people, because we would have been putting down that $7. We just have put it aside. When the Jamaica Labour Party came into power 2016, they interrupt that $7 that you used to put aside for rainy days like now, and they use that money that was set aside to cushion oil prices in crisis, and they use it to fund this and fund that and fund that. Now that we are in the crisis now, Jamaica, we have nothing to fall back on. We have to be passing on the rising cost for fuel onto the poor backs of these people. It goes to show you that the Jamaica Labour Party do not know how to govern. They do not know how to govern. And so Jamaica, the week before, last week, and this week, every single week, oil price jumped $4.50. All because what? We have no money set aside for rainy days like now. Under the PNP, we had the edge tax and set aside money in case oil price should rise beyond our control. We would have a little money set aside. It is known as the hedge tax. Yeah? And when the Jamaica Labour Party came into power and they see the money, it's the same thing they do to the NHT. People are contribute to the NHT, and when they come in power and say the NHT have money down there, and people, when people ready, then go take loan for make their house. So the money down there, they pile up and wait for poor people if can take NHT loan for make their house. And your only go down in the NHT, change the laws of this country to dip in NHT money to fund the budget. Same thing he did with the edge tax. He see the money a pile up because what? Gas prices were stable the other day. So in coming up power and he see the edge tax money a pile up, in dipping at the edge tax money. And tell the people them say the edge tax is to cushion oil prices, No. In take the edge tax money and a funding budget. And now when crisis hit the country now, we don't have nothing to fall back on. These people do not know how to govern. They don't know how to govern, and everything them blame poor Hurricane Melissa. Taxi men and women, not just ask to the 16% raise pan taxi fare because gas price out of control. The taxi men and women are bawling out because they don't have no good road for drive pan. It no make no sense to no fix no taxi and it costs you 100,000, 150,000 for fix today, and you shoot out back on the road. And as you run 2 trips, so boom, your front end gone again, you tire them bus, your rim them bend up. And you can't drive your vehicle with a bend rim. The bend rim I go bust your tire. So persons are not, the taxi men and women are not saying it's because of the oil price alone make them want them 16% raise in a taxi fare. The road is in a deplorable condition as well. So when Daryl Vaz and Favor are going to come out and blame the rise in oil prices, and why is it that them have to give the taxi men and women the 16%? It is a lie. Part of it have to do with the rise in oil prices, but taxi men and women are crying out equally because the road them bad and it a damage their vehicle and it a cost the taxi men and women them equally. So somewhere or another, Jamaica, they have to look to the people. But they didn't have to look to the people if they had used the edge tax money for its intended purposes. We would not have to ask commuters to pay more to taxi men and women. It is poor management and mismanagement of this country. Jamaica. As Dana say, No driver should have do fitness on their vehicle because the road is not fit for their vehicles. And it is true. Policemen and women can pull you over any day, anytime and say your car, your fitness up and your fitness is and find some little fault with your good vehicle. And when you look on the condition of the roads are the reason why people vehicle are go out and mash up more than the ordinary. Jamaica, I don't know what we're going to do as a country, but every single day, people just dislike the Labour Party government more and more and more. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny. But anyway, moving on. I heard the Prime Minister come out and I asked the people them what happened to national pride, because we litter the place and with this and with that. I want to ask the Prime Minister, only never bring in about, remember we have rubbish truck from Wapikil fill up. Me see the Prime Minister do one battalion a parade. And you know this government is all about a show. Them parade must be about 300 garbage truck a drive back a one another. Like how they do the new JUTC bus. I must see about 3 of them now burn up the brand new JUTC bus. Them just a catch a fire so. Where the rivers get them from, nobody knows. I must see about 3 JUTC brand new LNG bus catch a fire. Sexy Princess say about 4 now. Catch a fire. Anyway, the Prime Minister asked the people of Jamaica what happened to the national pride. What happened to the national pride, because on no top litter the place. But I want to ask the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, feel say if the garbage truck them come at people gate as scheduled, people would have top litter the place. Then I say curse upon the land. No one have to ask the Prime Minister. Yeah? If on a schedule the garbage truck them on time to come collect people garbage, on a fee said the built up and the pile up wouldn't exist. But we can't even blame the residents them for dispose them garbage properly, because when you look and see people like a Adley Garden, we are run the National Solid Waste, who has the responsibility for organizing the garbage truck and set their schedule. And remember Adley Garden under investigation, because Adley Garden himself collect how much pint at $1 million, and Adley Garden never finish high school to get a diploma. Adley Garden sit in the position, as the CEO down a National Solid Waste, and I collect millions of dollars. The salary is equivalent to one who would have graduated from the university. Allow me to tell, because I know when me attack people, I say, me don't know what me talk about. Adley Garden, who heads the National Solid Waste Management Authority, are you the holder of a university degree? Remember that the Auditor General do the investigation, and based on the findings, they asked the question to provide the Auditor General with the employment records of individuals. And when you look, Adley Garden had the list to be collecting how much point at $1 million a year time, and Adley Garden didn't graduate from high school, much less to hold a college degree or a university diploma, and he's getting the equivalent of that of a university graduate. So the time then take a pay them an exorbitant fees to unqualified individuals down a National Solid Waste. That money could have used to fund the garbage truck them so they can come on a more frequent basis. Eh? George Greer remind us say he's an ex-police officer. Same way. How them are criminally find themselves in the Jamaica Labour Party, I don't know. Eh? Yes, Anash, a serious thing. Adley Garden, I sure if I pull it up right now, it was in the Sunday Gleaner about 2 weeks ago. The Auditor General flagged them because they went down to NSWMA and audit them. And when the audit come out, it shows that when the Auditor General asks for the employment record, mean they ask HR and Human Resources to provide them with the list of all who are employed at the National Solid Waste. Yeah? And when you look, they are asking for their employment records. And persons are getting millions of dollars. And the requirement says for you to hold such position, you have to have a bachelor's, yes, so you have to have a degree, yes, so you have to have a so it list out, and the National Solid Waste Management Authority under Adley Garden hire these people, knowing the requirement for the position, ask you for such qualifications, and him put people there to work. But him can do better because he is the CEO, and the CEO requirement is to have, a university degree to run as CEO down a National Solid Waste. And Hadley Garden don't have a high school diploma. Andrew Holness is going to ask the people them this morning, where is on a national pride? Because if we tap litter the road, how about you hire a person with the requisite qualifications so they can function the NSWMA properly to do the basic of the basic, such as to write a proper schedule? So that's the garbage of persons in our communities can be collected on a regular basis. How about that, Andrew? Why you not go down at the NSWMA and ask what kind of thing this will make the Auditor General find out about? Can you imagine millions of dollars being used to pay unqualified persons? No wonder the garbage truck them can't service, because the millions of dollars we charge for service the garbage truck, they have to use pay uno. And then the Prime Minister come and ask we what to win national pride. I condemn roadside littering. I'm sure if the schedule did right properly and the garbage trucks them did a service on a regular basis, garbage would have been collected frequently. Now so it go come here now. But this is a government that you choose to put back in office, a government that takes zero accountability whatsoever. So much so that Andrew is going to blame the people. Jamaicans are not idiots, and while you have those who like to litter, I'm telling you, if we do what we're supposed to do, by the people and for the people, such as providing them with the basic assistance, such as at least 2 to 3 times a week, a garbage truck pass through, persons will get into the frame of mind, say, when I understood that back you say, me I keep it till the garbage truck come. Jamaican people have sense, but because seeing a garbage truck in our communities nowadays is like a delicacy. Me live in our Hearty Bell Labour Right constituency as Xavier Main. From me there till now, one time I see one blue, in my 30 years, one time I see one blue garbage front truck pass through, and about 2 weeks before September 3rd. You know what I say? 2 weeks before September 3rd, and a judgment in the community, you want to see the Tufenke them a take out camera phone and a video. Because them something here don't happen in a Southwest Center, and we don't have garbage truck a pass through for we community. When we see them as something here, when we come out of the bush and go up on the North Coast or we come at town, Member of Parliament Xavier Main. One of you ask yourself if Xavier ever turn up in the Parliament and give a proper representation of Southwest Centre. And that you know if you ask yourself. All of who depend the live and I listen. The MP for Southwest Centre. Ask yourself if you ever see Xavier Main turn up in the Honourable House of Parliament and give an account for Southwest Centre. I remember saying I'm a liar. Look and see if when anybody turn up on them foot and contribute, as Xavier is there in the house. If you don't see Xavier, they hitch up back and hide. I beg God no make the camera go upon him. And at them they represent constituency. But anyhow, Jamaica, we moving on. I'm not sure if you guys saw the member for Central St. Catherine, the Honorable Babsy Grange, did an interview with Nationwide. And she's using some language that if anybody had used those language, you would have seen them come out, yeah, come condemn. So Kamina and Cuthbert Flynn, our next one, I think a Faval, take it upon themselves as women, but them a bash Nikisha Burchell. And they're not learning, you know. So them bash Nikisha Burchell as so Jamaica love her even more. So Babsy Grange now a fear time for all the hot mic. So Babsy say what Nikisha Burchell did was very disgusting. Very disgusting for speaking in patois and for stating the obvious what every single Jamaican is saying about the Prime Minister wife. Juliet always behaved like a controlling wife, a wife that controls her husband. Yes, and she's free to speak outside the perimeters of Parliament. Just like how Babsy come and use unparliamentary language. I think it is equal. Me tell you, say there no sense, you know. You are going to come out and depend an interview and do the same thing to another woman where you are accused another woman of doing. You are come out, Babsy, a cuss and a class another woman and a call what she did disgusting. I look down on another woman. Basically, you are doing the exact thing that you accuse Nikisha of doing, you know. But the difference is, Babsy, you are trying to garner some support, but you're not getting any support. Because if Cuthbert Flynn couldn't get the support, and Faval and Kamina John, you think you are going to get the support? Eh? You are saying that Burchell is disgusting. Disgusting for saying what? You know what I find disgusting, Babsy? What I find disgusting, yeah, is the investigation that you are under. Because it is out there, it is public knowledge. So you used to rent vehicle to transport the gunman and the badman and the gangman them. Yes, that is more disgusting. It is out there in a public record. An investigation say Babsy Grange used to rent house, put the gang leader them and the gunman them. Allow me to tell you, not think say that is more disgusting than what Nikisha Burchell did. The outrage these people come out with talking about who touched the mace from who speak patois in the house. This is the outrage in Jamaica. For speaking patois and for touching the mace. But where is the outrage that houses and vehicles to transport and to house the criminal element? Make us see if I can find them in my records. Because I don't want the old junk them come over here can screen record me and say them assume me. So make I pull up the National Gallery and the records. For them and those who can read. Let us read together, class. Multiple vehicles registered in the name of what? A Jamaican politician, Olivia. But make her take me time and sit down and go through. Uno come here, labor right, to know the full display this morning. But the tax Nikisha Burchell disgusting. Make we read together what is more disgusting among the Labour Party. Come here, Babsy. Multiple motor vehicles registered in the name of Jamaican politician Olivia Babsy Grange have been driven by or associated with known gangsters. Investigations by Jamaican authorities tied vehicles linked to Grange to the following incidents. 1. Oliver Bubba Smith, in July, co-owned by Olivia Babsy Grange, was being driven by notorious one other gang leader, Oliver Bubba. Wanna see that, Jamaica? I find this more disgusting than speaking patois in the parliament. It gets worse, Jamaica. The next incident has to do with somebody named Omar Tikaros Campbell. Read ya. Detectives question Babsy Grange again after a shooting at Church and Wellington Streets left a gang member known as Omar Tikaros Campbell dead. Police records reveal that Olivia Babsy Grange was the co-owner of the vehicle in which Mr. Campbell was killed. Babsy Grange denied knowing the gentleman and claimed that her name was placed on the vehicle registration document as a guarantor for a bank loan for a constituent identified by police as who? See there in front of Uno Jamaica. As one other gang member, Andrew Bunman Hope. And this was taken from the Jamaica Observer. It is public knowledge. So why this woman come out a go on like she is holier than thou? Ono is a national disgrace. You is a national disgrace, Babsy. And whenever you decide to hang up your political stockings and walk away from politics, there is nothing to your name that the Jamaican people will remember you for that you would have done to uplift this country. But you come and talk about Nikisha Burchell, disgusting. How about the facts? I don't know if we team up and gang up. And now when you team up and gang up as women, the Jamaican people is still siding with Nikisha Burchell. Only no shame. Only no shame. First of all, as a member of parliament, why is it that your name, out of everybody else, what make you as the MP name have to call? Say you rent vehicle to transport the gang leaders. What make out of all of the MP them a your name call? Say you rent apartment, put them in a stay. You can talk to Nikisha Burchell. Where? I no come show no dirty water upon the good pastor daughter. You look at no woman. I'm in a good mood today, you know, because not even God can save you this afternoon in a parliament, you know. Or no better come table the rip. I'm not ready to go down in it yet, you know, people. Paula. She out of order. Out of order, Paula. About Nikisha Burchell and very disgusting. It wasn't disgusting when you rent vehicle for transport gunman. Babsy? It never disgusting as a woman. Imagine me hear Nikisha Burchell refer to you as Auntie Babsy. So if you are class the young parliamentarian as disgusting, she would have learned from you. You would have set the precedence for her to follow. Now so it go. Disgusting as disgusting comes. Can you imagine? You a rent vehicle as a politician? How can you use your name to rent a vehicle? Yeah, and why is it that a gang leader would use your name to rent a vehicle to transport known gang members? How the hell you think that gang man had the audacity to do something like that had it been you, the MP, and the gang member wasn't in some form of collusion and relationship? Huh? The facts are there. We are not telling any lie on the labor rights. Huh? Multiple vehicles register, not one, the word multiple tell me say in a primary school, say multiple means more than one. So I know just one or no two or no three times, and many times Babsy Grange rent vehicle for transport criminal elements, including notorious gang leaders. See here in the Observer, multiple motor vehicles registered in the name of Jamaican politician Olivia Babsy Grange have been driven by or associated with known gangsters. So what Observers say, some of the time a Babsy drive the vehicle them too. So when they see the MP turn on her blue flasher and I go through, she is creating the avenues for no obstruction to transport the criminal elements in Spanish Town. And this is the reason why Siaga did always want Babsy come a West Kingston to be the MP, because this is what happened in Labour Party strongholds. Not hiding Babsy. So when you come out and I try to destroy people good name and then good character, remember say you don't have no legacy back of your name, Babsy. This is what the Observer is reporting about you. The Observer say that these vehicles have been driven by Babsy herself or associated with known gangsters. You no need to hear anything else. So when Babsy come out and a launch attack against women, she must tell Jamaica say she is the hallmark of it all. The evidence are there. And if Nikisha Burchell should ever come out now, come do a video and blast her, you're going to hear say them, know what. As so she say, I don't know what is wrong with these new breed of politicians. Welcome to the generation that is taking over Babsy. What you need to do is tell the Jamaican people, oh yeah, stifle Kerencia Morrison in the ministry. Kerencia Morrison is not the state minister in your ministry. So what make you there them a meeting you out and about to do interview all over the country? You're not tired? All woman like you fi sit down in the office in the ministry and hold things together and lego the young state minister make she do them ya island-wide interviews. No, you they all bout like your young smaddy. Why you no stop sideline Kerencia Morrison? Me hear the Labour right them a bash you. The Labour right them a say you need fi guard your yard when night come. Night Jew they kill you. Every pan knock, every dance, everything if you do with entertainment, you did it. And not tan good. Lord, the young Kerencia Morrison make she do a little thing in the ministry. And that's why Orlando Terry Lang did have to get up with from around you. Remember Orlando Terry Lang was in the Ministry of Entertainment, Gender, and whatever, Remember. And Babsy fight out the man, so then put him over foreign affairs. Nobody no want turn around Babsy, and it's the same thing she can do Kerencia. Kerencia cannot come out, come give a statement in the ministry, and she are the state minister. Every other state minister can function except Kerencia Morrison. Babsy have around that heavy manners. Heavy heavy manners. And then there's something that you have to come out and talk why you do the women them in the country. I stifle the poor women them from progress. But because you see Nikisha Burchell, a progress, yeah, and the PNP now stifle the women them, we say, go on a road, young, bright and beautiful, and that you no like. We and is not the same. In Sparky, we and them is not the same. So then grudge Nikisha Burchell because Mark Golding say, come girl, do road and make a name for yourself. The people them love you. Who love Kerencia Morrison more than can broad out her throat hole and people have them and no road leads to me. Nothing to tell the people of this country. And of them sit down in a ministry as state ministers. Babsy, I don't want to speak down on you anymore. But I will just say this. Remember, say you know have no good track record. Alright? So when you come one show cold water upon the good pastor data, remember say your reputation is one that one will be remembered for. That is not of not name good. Alright? Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol Miller. Thank you. Yes, I have to draw for the facts, Carol, because I don't want nobody come accuse me of no propaganda. So you have to show them where you get the information from and see spread out there in the Observer. Observer bring the news so we can be reminded who Babsy Grange is. See it there? In Keisha, thank you, darling. See it there? The Jamaica Observer tell me this about Babsy. So me now come out and tell no lie pan her. I'm going to read it one more time. See it there? Multiple motor vehicles. What them say? Multiple. Means you know one vehicle. And no two nor no three vehicle Babsy rent for transport gunman through Spanish Town. And no mean say it is the Observer. So me just read what is already out there. So none of them can come for me and say me I put out fake news and propaganda. I am reiterating what the Observer is telling us. Good morning, Opal. Big up yourself, darling. I am going to read it so that the people can know who we are talking about. Olivia Babsy Grange. Multiple. I'm going to repeat it again. Multiple. Not one nor two nor three. Multiple motor vehicles registered. You hear that? Registered in the name of Jamaican politician Olivia Babsy Grange have been driven by. So that means say a Babsy herself a go upon the operation them and a transport the criminal element them in a Spanish Town. And me say it our the news a report. See it in front town. No? Multiple motor vehicles registered in the name of Jamaican politician Olivia Babsy Grange have been driven by or associated with known gangsters. Investigations by the Jamaican authorities tied vehicles linked to Grange in the following incidents. 1. Whoever gang leader named Oliver Bubba Smith, a Honda Civic motor car co-owned by who? Olivia Babsy Grange, was being driven by the notorious one other gang leader, Olivia Bubba. How is it that the notorious gang leader in a Spanish Town was driving the vehicle of the honorable member for Spanish Town? Come make we talk no labor, right? How is it that the notorious gang leader for the one other gang was driving the personal vehicle for the honorable member for Central Spanish Town? And when she done, she want to come hold a candle to Nikisha Burchell. Where is your good deeds, Babsy? It gets worse, Jamaica. Unokuya. The next incident where Babsy name get called in her. Whoever name, remember the first one was about Buba, you know, one gang member. See you have one other gang leader here named Tikaros. See it here? Omar Tikaros Campbell. Detectives question who? Olivia Babsy Grange again after a shooting at Church and Wellington Street left a gang member known as Omar Tikaros Campbell dead. Police records reveal. You hear that? Police record, which means they have them stack and pile information. Record means they have something for you. See there? Police records revealed that Olivia Babsy Grange was co-owner of the vehicle in which Campbell was killed. So this is a second incident, the Buba matter. Babsy Grange call up, say she rent the vehicle to carry out the operation. And here we have another incident. Babsy Grange name call, say she own the vehicle where the gang leader was killed in. Come talk to in a Labour Party. Eh? Come talk to in a Labour Party. You can't talk to nobody. See there? Babsy Grange denied knowing the gang leader and claimed that her name was placed on the vehicle registration document as a guarantor for a bank loan for a constituent, identified by police as one other gang member, Andrew Bunman Hope. So if the police can tell you, say, Andrew Bunman Hope, then wait, they know another gang leader this. Well, and the Jamaica people, our new name this one other gang member, Andrew Bunman Hope. But that different from somebody named Omar Tikaros Campbell, and it is also different from somebody who named what? Oliver Buba Smith. So a three notorious gang leader Babsy head, Olivia Buba Smith, that a one. Who else? Omar Tikaros Campbell, that a two. And see the investigation shows say Babsy rent the vehicle to carry out the operation for the third gang member, Andrew Bunman Hope. What a shame and disgrace this afternoon. 4 minutes past the hour of 12 noon. And I saw it this man in Jamaica. Babsy come out to bring her mouth to Nikisha Burchell when them are sitting at the path for her head. How where they come from? Only no realize every time the Labour Party come with some distrust. It's like the hands of God depend the PNP to fight the battles for the comrades. Only no realize Jamaica every time they come out, God Almighty find something for corner the old criminal them. What a shame and disgrace. What a shame and disgrace in the country, Jamaica. Babsy is a disgrace. And then I no can come tell me say a propaganda or a misinformation me I put out. They see they are straight out of the Observer it come from. Straight out of the Observer it come from. Ono Jamaica Labour Party, is a disgrace in the country. What a disgrace. What a shame in a Labour Party. Jamaica, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back in 2 minutes time. And when I come back, we find out where is Horace Chang as Minister of National Security. How comes him never depend the ship and him a Minister of National Security? We soon come back. Thank you for staying with us. I appreciate the love and the support. Jamaica, I saw several reports that the United States Nimitz warship is in our port of Kingston. And it is such an eyesore downtown to see this hell and all of a thing. And the labor rights are rejoicing. The big old Trojan horse, them roll coming to Jamaica, you know. And she say, this can never be something good. Only now realize for those of us who would have read this story in the Alibaba book, grade 5, I never forgot that book, the Alibaba and the 40 Thieves book in a grade 5 when me read. One story in it named The Wooden Horse of Troy. Only now remember how they devour and running in the people in country. Nobody has said them are running in a Jamaica, you know, don't get me twisted, because I know the labor rights them done. Yes? But we all know the relationship with the United States and Cuba at this time. Persons are saying it has nothing to do with Cuba because Cuba already has a base for the Americans in their own country at Guantanamo Bay. But I personally find, Jamaica, that what the United States sets out to do is to further intimidate Cuba. Nobody is saying that the United States is invading Cuba, you know. But their actions suggest intimidation. And what the United States is doing, thanks to Kamala Persad-Bissessar and Andrew Holness, has now joined the fold. What the United States is doing is trying to destabilize the Caribbean and the region on a whole by attaching itself to these independent countries, yeah, so that it can send shockwaves right across the region and further impact Cuba to make it seem as though Cuba has no friends. That is what I'm getting, you know, because then go down at Trinidad the other day and say, oh, it's just a Trinidad-America relationship. And now we are seeing them in Jamaica, two of the largest English-speaking islands in the region, Trinidad and what make they never go up a Mia Motley, go back. Eh? What make this ship never go anchor out of Barbados in a Mia Motley? Remember they asked Grenada Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister, that they want to come anchor in a Grenada. Remember they set out to anchor in Barbados. They weren't successful. And what America do? Start to implicate Barbados' passport. Yes. They wanted to go in the OECS, go tore it up. Eh? And because the OECS shut them down, what them do? They start to say Antigua passport have problem, Dominica passport, Barbados, they find a problem now, you know. All because they never get what they want. So they find the kunumunu now down at Trinidad, Kamala Persad. Whatever she done, they go sell out for her people, them. She get it. And so Jamaica, the excuse is that we need the protection from the United States because Venezuela is poised to invade and take the oil and whatever the case. Anyway, that is their excuse. What is the excuse of Jamaica to harbor this big everlasting warship in our waters? What is the significance of it coming here? Huh? And what was strange in Jamaica? Based on what the news is reporting, we heard about the coming of this ship, that it will anchor at Kingston Port on the 1st of June to the 5th of June. So for the whole week it got there in our waters. But when I look on social media, I saw persons like Daryl Vaz and Dana Morris Dixon already on the ship before it was in Jamaican waters. I wonder if the people them are focused on what I'm saying. Why is it that the Jamaican government could not wait to welcome this ship in its harbor? Why they have to take up themselves and go meet this ship days before it was called to our port? Huh? Something is not right here, Jamaica. Something not right. Yes, sir. I saw a photograph of Dana Morris Dixon and a video. And when I watched that video and Dana Morris Dixon a chat, and I observed the body language of Daryl Vaz, I said to myself, the coming of this ship is nothing good. Dana and Daryl were already on board that ship days before it is scheduled to anchor here in our port. Because me read it say to come here the 1st of June. But the video that I saw, Dana Dixon, yeah, I get Grand Tour, was about Friday or Saturday. So what could have propelled the Jamaican government, yeah? What was so urgent for them to go and meet this ship ahead of time? Eh? And why is it that the Minister of National Security, Horace Chang, didn't get the opportunity to be on that ship? Something is wrong. How Daryl get the authority to be first and fourth runner with Dana Dixon? We don't see the Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson Smith. These are foreign issues, you know. Foreign minister supposed to be there to engage. So too national security. This is a warship. How Chang and Kamina wasn't in attendance, but we see Daryl Vaz and Dana Dixon. Something is not right. Something is not right, Jamaica. And so, Jamaica, individuals within the Caribbean are beginning to speak out. Individuals are beginning to speak out, Jamaica. Right? Because when I look at how things are playing out under this government, CARICOM is not with Jamaica. CARICOM is not with Jamaica on some of the decisions that they make. Huh? I saw where one Caribbean CARICOM former Secretary General states that they see this warship in Jamaica's port as a tactic by the Donald Trump administration to intimidate Cuba. The Jamaica Labour Party on Monday welcomed its arrival in Kingston's port, calling it a symbol of the long-standing relationship between Jamaica and the United States. But this is nothing but a show of force, Jamaica. The CARICOM official rejects the goodwill tour explanation for the United States warship. CARICOM sees it as a warning shot for Cuba. You hear them as something, yeah? Eh? Kimaya say, look how Cuba are going to send a missile over here like what Iran. do to the EU. That's wishful thinking, Kemoy. But what I'm saying, Jamaica, CARICOM is saying that they have seen a list of activities that the Jamaica Labour Party plan to put on to entertain this big eyesore in our waters. And what CARICOM describe the visit of this ship, they are seeing these activities as pedestrian activities. They are saying which high-level soldier that is on a warship would come to Jamaica to paint school. Eh? I would call it a pedestrian activity, painting schools. Which high-level soldier does that? General Shipagwan Stardal. The coming of this ship to our port, I know nothing so. So when the government of Jamaica go come tell the people about, oh, it's because of the long-standing relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Not no go so. It is all a cover-up. And the people then blinded by what is happening in our country. Eh? Totally blinded by what is happening in the country. But the question you need to ask yourself, where is Dr. Horace Chang? A warship, you know, and like it is a medical ship. If you come here, say if I were a medical ship tough and out a long time, this is a warship that have to do with national security, and the national security minister Horace Chang is not there. Where is the nasty mouth woman from West Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn? Now she had the state minister in the national security. Oh, she never opened the ship. What makes she not come use her athletic body and the Olympic experience and jump on board this ship? Where the nasty mouth woman will say she is the state minister in the national security, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. Where she there? She should have jumped up on this ship a long time. Remember, she's very athletic, you know. In blue, Fendi fine one. Where the woman from West Rural St. Andrew? She should have depended the ship long time, because if Chang as the national security minister not available, why is it that she as the state minister not available? In Janelle laugh. Where them they tell them to come out, come antagonize Nikisha Burchell, then take pride in doing that. But things of national concern. But I am not surprised, you know, because I see him. So when we did go at the United Nations for our voice to be heard, we had shut off we mouth every day. And when the time come for us to take a stance and vote, Kamina Johnson was a no-show at the United Nations meeting. You know, remember? So all the chat we are chatting and chat off we mouth. When the time come for we open up we mouth and chat like a Cuthbert Flynn, look all of the bad word them and the dirty things them she chat out of her mouth. And now she if it chat and make her presence felt in the ministry, she's a no-show. Where them there? Simone James, where them there? Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, tell her if you come out, come talk about Nikisha Burchell. Then take precedence in that. But when it comes on to matters of national importance, their level of education take the back seat. We're talking about the Jamaica Labour Party. When it is time for them to come out, and show what they achieve at university, for them and those who went, the education level take the back seat. But when it is time to curse and lift them frack over them head, the education come to the forefront. Come here, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. You know, I'm going to leave Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, you know, because the people, them, the people them had a field time with her. I want to ask Horace Chang, how is it that he is not a part of the photo op? Were you invited to be on board the USS Nimitz? Are you the National Security Minister, Chang? I mean, I think this a big old dirty warship you're coming a few waters. And you as national security, take the approach. Oh, I beg your pardon. I forget, say they have 1 week. So if you go today, we go tomorrow. And if you go tomorrow, we go the next day. Okay. I should have thumped myself in my back. In Island Reds. Yes, man. Uncle George, remember we have it wrong, me friend. Uncle George, we have it wrong. A 5-day then ship there for. So if you go yesterday or today, and we go tomorrow and the next day and then I beg your pardon. Yes. A 5-day at the ship down there for. So Horace Chang. Horace Chang have so more time to make his voice be heard. My Jamaican people, I want to hear from you, Jamaica. Want to think about this matter? Yes? Want to think about the tabling of the FLA reports? I would love to hear from you. And so I will be opening the phone lines. So anybody who wish to give some contribution, the phone lines are open. Send up those friend requests so we can have a wonderful discussion. Send the request. Thank you. Escobar, me send you the request. Me no know you not get it. Check and see. Queen of the pack, what they go on? Hello? Queen of the pack not ready yet. Mrs. Escobar, send back a request. I've sent you the request. I don't know. It's saying that I can't send another request to you until you accept. Big up yourself, Joanne Gibbs. I'm seeing everybody else except you, Esco. I'm trying to accept and it's not working. Wow. Let me send it back. Good afternoon, Linko. What happened to them people here? All right, Esco, cool. Hello? No, sir, me can't. What go on?
Not that thing me there, you know. So me no know me get up in a box, me there almost drop asleep. I time so hot. Me there, man, me there, me good.
All right, big up yourself.
No, me no understand.
I don't know, but there are several persons. I see about 35 requests here, and each one me accept is like I must mistake. So it better me continue do what I do best and just to continue. All right, Escobar, when you're ready, just send me the request. Let me get back to my teaching element because I don't know what happened, but these boxes are not being utilized. Yeah, I realize it look like when them tap the screen, they must send the request by mistake. Thank you, Nicola Rooms. Thank you, Extreme. Thanks to all those who send a gift. I really appreciate it. 30 minutes to the hour of 1 o'clock. Don't forget that we get out of here at 1 p.m. In addition, this afternoon promises to be a very interesting one as Parliament resumes. And when Parliament resumes, we will know what is happening with that report. Remember that the leader of the opposition said that failure to table the report at the next sitting the parliament will hear from the lawyers. And so we have all faith in the leader of the opposition and the stance that he will be taking. Now, don't forget that the member for Southeast St. Mary, Christopher Brown, will be making his debut presentation to the sectoral debate this afternoon. So we'll be looking out for Christopher Brown's contribution. In addition, the member for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell, he too will be doing his sectoral debate. And so this afternoon is shaping up to be a very exciteful and eventful one at Gordon House, notwithstanding the fact that the House Speaker is expected to table the FLA report today, among other things. And so we will see, Jamaica, what is happening. But speaking of the FLA report, I think I need to stay on this topic a little bit because the Jamaica Labour Party came out strong to condemn when I think it was Mark Jefferson Golding who announced what could have be the reason or the cause for a report that was sent to Parliament the 30th of March. And it was 2 months later and they haven't seen the report tabled. And so the response from the House Leader, Floyd Green, is that the matter is before the court. And pending the outcome of the court, they cannot speak on the matter. You remember? Yes. So the Jamaica Labour Party probably, and I shouldn't say probably, they know the extent of the damage of the FLA report. Because if it wasn't destructive and damaging, they would have tabled it. But because they know the contents of what is in that report, the Jamaica Labour Party decided to send it to the courts. But that was a wrong move. Because if you are the Parliament, the legislative arm of government, there is no need for you to ask for the help of the court, which is the judiciary arm of government, which is separate and apart from the legislative arm. Whatever legislation and things are passed in Parliament, any breaches to that law and legislation, you trash it out in the court. No, so the court cannot come into the Parliament and trash out something that was decided by the Parliament. So why Juliet Holness think it is okay for her to take up the Parliament affairs and go in at the courthouse, go try to trash out Parliament affairs in the court? Make me sit down here so a little bit. Jamaica people, what Juliet Holness has done is to weaken the powers of our Parliament. Parliament stands alone as the legislative body to making laws in this country. These laws are now sent to the court whenever there is a breach to act accordingly. You cannot interfere with the courts because there will be a breach and you will jeopardize, what is in before the court. So when I see the Jamaica Labour Party for 2 months send the FLA report to the court, what they are asking the court to do, is to grant them disclosure what is in the report. I'm going to repeat it again. What Juliet Holness and Tom Tavares Finson did was to send a matter that they are qualified to rule on, but they didn't rule on it. They send the matter to the court. You know the reason why they send the matter to the court? They wanted to trap the court. And once the court had given them what they asked for to disclose what is in that report, they would have caught the court, and whatever is in that report will never see the light of day, because they would have had something on the court to say that the court have broke the law. Because Jamaica, a report sent to Parliament for tabling must send to Parliament for tabling. That is what the Integrity Commissions Act states. So for Juliet Holness and Tom Tavares to send the FLA report to the court seeking to get a disclosure, meaning they want the court to rule to make the findings of the FLA report open solely to the FLA so they can see what is in that report, I find that grossly incompetent. What I say? I found it grossly incompetent. Huh? Can you imagine, Jamaica? Can you imagine? The Jamaica Labour Party wanted to trap the court so they can say, "Aye, I catch them. Then break the law. And from them break the law, see they. This matter is now breached. So they cannot go further in tabling." But the court outsmart Juliet and Tom Tavares. The court would have outsmarted Juliet Holness and Tom Tavares, and they quoted the Integrity Commissions Act and say if they do that, they will be committing an offense. Because based on what the Integrity Commission Act states, it states that after the completion of a report, that report must be sent to Parliament. For what? For tabling. The Integrity Commissions Act never say after the completion of an investigation, the report must be sent to Parliament, full stop. It didn't say that. The Act says after the completion of an investigation, the report must be sent to Parliament for tabling. And this is the reason why simple words, a little one word or a little two word or a little three word can make a difference, Jamaica. ISA tell us. When they were debating the NARA Act, and ISA find some little words that will throw off the court in case NARA reach the court, them cry shame. Oh, a little one word or a little two word can make a difference. Now we see the reason why Isaac stood up and made his point. Because had it been the little one word or the little two word that did left off on the Integrity Commissions Act, Juliet and Tom Tavares would have get away with what they want. But the little one word and the two word makes a difference today with the FLA report. Because the court used that act, to guide themselves accordingly and remind the Parliament, that once a report is completed, once that investigation is completed by the Integrity Commission and they send the report to Parliament, the report must be tabled. The act never said must be sent after the completion of the investigation. The report must be sent to the courts, you know. No, it never said that. The Integrity Commission says after the completion of an investigation, the report must be sent to Parliament for tabling. So why is it that a report sent to Parliament for tabling end up in the hands of the court before it was tabled? Hello, somebody. Labor rights. I will labor right for answer, you know. Why is it that a report that was sent to Parliament for tabling ended up in the hands of the court before it was tabled? So basically, what the Jamaica Labour Party through Juliet and Tam Tavares sought to do was to implicate the court, but the court turned around and outsmarted the Jamaica Labour Party and put Juliet Holness and Tam Tavares Finson in a conundrum, and it shows the incompetence of Juliet and Tam. Yes. Based on what I'm hearing the Jamaica Labour Party bloggers them saying on their platform, they are saying that within the report, how them know, I don't know. But the report have been leaked, Jamaica, because the Labour rights are asking the question, which Jamaica Labour Party MP initials, yeah, is RBM. And which top Labour right initial is TTF. And that the Labour rights them are asked on them platform, you know. Because one of the accused, according to the Labour rights them, the FLA report where them a try to suppress and hide. In the report, the Labour right them a say, this a top Labour right gun was investigated and murders were committed by the use of that gun. Nobody has said the top Labour right commit no murder, you know. But according to the Labour rights them, that gun which was belonging to the parliamentarian and it traced back to him, show that it was used to carry out a number of murders in this country. This is serious in Jamaica. This is serious. And one must ask the question, why is it that the President of the Senate, Tam Tavares Finson, is protecting Juliet Holness so much? Yes. Because he came out and gave his assurance that it wasn't Juliet Holness that is blocking the report. It is a collective of him and Juliet and the clerk of the houses and the legal minds of the houses. But when me read the Integrity Commission report, when me see what them put on them social media, they never tell me say they send the report to no legal minds of the House of Parliament. They tell me say they send the letter to Juliet and Tam Tavares and Colleen Lowe. 3 names. So why is it that Tam Tavares Finson is saying that the reason why the report not table yet is because they got advice from the legal minds of Parliament and they have to wait until the court make a decision on the 29th of May. Well, the 29th come and gone. Today is what? The 2nd of June? And according to Mark Jefferson Golding, if you not table it today, I worries. If it not table today, you can look out to hear from his lawyers. But the question one must ask, you know, because right there and then Juliet Holness figure prison, you know. Yes. Juliet Holness and Tam Tavares Finson figure prison, you know. And I'm going to tell you know why. If I did anyone away breach or break any laws of the land, they would have haul and pull, we not true. So no feel say the law and the act where Juliet breach, we tell him say once the report reach in front of her, it must be tabled. And she decided not to table it and bring it to the court. Now she break the law right there, so. So like how she break the law, what will be her portion? Eh? What will be her portion? Because the law states that once the investigation is complete and the report is sent to Parliament, it must be tabled. So why is it that Juliet Holness break the law and send the matter to the court before it was tabled? Only to know that the report now is sent back to Parliament for tabling. Something is wrong. If me send something to you and you take it send it go give somebody else, and that somebody else send it back come give you and say you shouldn't come send it come give me because the law is there that tell you to act, then that means say the court tell Juliet say she figure a prison because she break the law. How are the backside this in front of me this afternoon? Eh? Basically, the law, the court implicate Juliet and she no know, you know. Only no see what me just break down to the people a while ago. The Integrity Commission send the report to table and Juliet take it go give somebody else. And that person in the court take it send it back come give Juliet and say, why you send it come give me when the law states clearly that you is responsible for it? You have broken the law. You have breached the law and the legal processing of matters concerning tabling of reports. Juliet Holness will stand before the court of law. Juliet Holness must stand before the court of law. The Integrity Commission Act say once the report is complete and it is sent to Parliament, it must be tabled. But you never table it, Juliet. You take it, send it, go give the courthouse. Now the courthouse send it back, come give you. And say, why you do, Juliet? I put you and put me in a trouble. The law states say you must table it. So why you give me if you table it? You have broken the law, Juliet. And you need to come stand before the court of law. And that me get from it, you know. That is what I got from it, Jamaica. And so, yes. What the Jamaica Labour Party sought to do is to use the court, Jamaica, to fall on its own self. And if the court did ever fall for it, then they would have gotten the opportunity, yeah, to put an injunction on that report from ever being tabled. So I heard the FLA and the Jamaica Labour Party agrees that the tabling of the Integrity Commission's report on the FLA report should await the judicial review. Of course, that is your opinion. Doesn't mean that your opinion is the facts. In lawyer boy, why name Peku? The lawyer man that is representing the Jamaica Labour Party and the FLA. Of course, you are right. Huh? That is your opinion. You're right. I'm free to give your opinion. You know, it doesn't mean that your opinion is the fact. Huh? But when I saw what is before me in the ruling of the court, Jamaica, huh? The ruling of the court, the judgment that the court handed down was very interesting because the courthouse found, yeah, that the FLA and the Jamaica Labour Party was already aware of the nature of the investigation, the decision makers involved, and the grounds upon which it intended to challenge the process. So me no know what more the FLA did want. If the FLA are come to the courthouse seeking disclosure of what is in the FLA report, what them bother carry the matter to court for when they already know why in the report? And me I say it in the judgment where the judge hand down. The judge is declaring, yeah, that the court found out that the Jamaica Labour Party and those who head the FLA was already aware of what is in the report. So all no come before the judge and seek a disclosure, wanting the judge to make what is in the report available to UNO and already know what is in there. The reason why they got court is because they were tipped what is in there, you know. Jamaica, nobody could have tipped them other than Juliet Holness or Tam Tavares or Colleen Lowe. One out of these three individuals. I have never heard these things happen when the former clerk of the house, yeah, was there. Remember, Juliet Holness fight out the little old lady who was there for decades as the Jamaican clerk, you know. And Juliet fight out the woman because what the woman was acting accordingly. And you never hear that woman, Miss Valerie Curtis, name a call up in a dem a message yet as the former clerk of the house. All of these things start to happen since Juliet Holness fight out Miss Valerie Curtis. You don't remember? Miss Valerie Curtis was the clerk of the house in Parliament. And Juliet Holness find every excuse to get out Miss Valerie Curtis and put in Colleen Lowe. And ever since Juliet Holness can control Colleen Lowe, reports are being leaked left, right, and center. And it never used to happen under Miss Valerie Curtis' watch. And that is the reason why Juliet Holness get rid of Miss Valerie Curtis, because Miss Valerie Curtis was an impeccable woman. And when report come before Miss Valerie Curtis, them a table in the house, whether you like it, yes or no. Miss Valerie Curtis was not a compromised woman. Miss Valerie Curtis was not a compromised woman. Every time report sent to Parliament, Valerie Curtis tabled the report. But look and see, since Juliet Holness fired and got rid of that woman and thank her for her service and put in Colleen Lowe. Look and see, I'll play and Juliet Holness a tour with Colleen Lowe. That is what they would have created, Jamaica. That is what they create. And so today we are seeing reports being sent to the Parliament, being suppressed by these persons because Juliet got a clerk. Yeah, a clerk should be independent and do her job, because when the PNP take power, that same dirty clerk will have to continue her job. The clerk of the house is a permanent position unless you choose to resign or for whatever reason you cannot fulfill your duties. And so this Colleen Lowe woman is being wrapped up with Juliet Holness. Totally unprofessional. Totally unprofessional. And see Nationwide I come and run with story, but the attorney agreed that the tabling of the report should await judicial review. One more wait if you wait. Floyd Green never turn up in the Parliament and say the matter day before the court, and until the 29th of May, we will get an answer. We get the answer from the court. The court, you say if you wait on the court because you cannot table the report because the matter is before the court. We must wait until the 29th of May. That is when you will hear the verdict of the court. God is so good that the court ruled. The ruling we've been waiting for has arrived. And so the same court where the government said if we wait on, tell us that the report must be tabled. So why is it that Nationwide is running with an opinion from a lawyer? Yes, it's his opinion not to table until judicial review, but not because you have an opinion, lawyer boy, means say your opinion is the fact. The fact is, and the fact remains, that the court say Juliet must table the report. That is the fact. On I realize say every single stumbling block that come into the way of the PNP is like God Almighty just roll the sea away from before them. Eh? The song lady said, when Israel out of bondage came, a sea before them laid. The Lord reached down his mighty hands and rolled the sea away. Only no see the stumbling block which are them put in front of the tabling of this report. God Almighty open up a way and speak to the court so that the court could do what is right. So that the report can be sent back to Parliament for tabling. God is fighting the battles of the People's National Party, and we have every trust and faith in our leader because God put him there for a time like this, and we are going to continue to support our leader, Mark Jefferson Golding. Well, Jamaica, this afternoon will be a very interesting one. And so I encourage individuals to tune in to Jamaica PNP YouTube channel. That is where it will be going down this afternoon. So as I bring the program to a close, Jamaica, let us give support to Dr. Dayton Campbell, who will be presenting this afternoon his sectoral debate, and so to the member for Southeast St. Mary, Christopher Brown. And while the sectoral debate resumes, let us look out and wait patiently for the tabling of the FLA report. Parliament starts at 2 p.m. You can watch it on Jamaica PNP YouTube platform or JIS or PBCJ. But you know the dirty labor right, them go over JIS and over PBCJ. So you know, go see them in the comment section and antagonize, you know. That's the reason why I say go over Jamaica PNP YouTube channel, because the comrades will congregate there and you will feel well at home. So Jamaica, this is where we're leaving it for today. See you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, where we'll do it all over again. It was my pleasure being here. Thank you guys so much for this.